Why do text messages make your mind spiral so fast? You send one message, then wait. A few minutes pass. Maybe longer. Suddenly your mind starts changing the meaning of that silence. Did I say too much? Did I sound weird? Are they upset? Did I ruin something? And even when part of you knows it might mean nothing, your mind keeps going. That is what makes texting so psychologically intense. A simple reply, a delayed response, or silence on a screen can feel much bigger than it really is. One reason people overthink text so much is because texting removes emotional clarity. In real life, you can hear tone, see facial expression, and read body language. But in text, most of that disappears. All you see are words on a screen. And when emotional clarity disappears, the brain starts filling in the blanks. That is where overthinking begins. A short reply can feel cold. A delayed response can feel personal. A simple, okay, can suddenly feel loaded with meaning, even when you do not actually know what it means. Texting also creates the perfect environment for uncertainty. You send something, and then you do not know what is happening on the other side. Maybe they are busy. Maybe they are tired. Maybe they are driving. Maybe they saw it and planned to answer later. But your brain does not like not knowing. It wants certainty. It wants reassurance. It wants emotional safety. So while the other person may simply be living their day, your mind starts scanning for danger. Maybe they are ignoring me. Maybe I said too much. Maybe something changed. This is why delayed replies can feel personal. Waiting does not just feel like waiting. It can start to feel like being judged. It can feel like your worth is sitting inside someone else's typing bubble. And that is why texting can hit so hard emotionally. It is not always about the message itself. It is about what the silence starts to represent: rejection, disinterest, distance, embarrassment, insecurity. This happens in everyday situations people know too well. You send someone a thoughtful message and they reply with just, okay. You ask if everything is alright and they say, I'm fine. But it suddenly feels colder than it should. You see them active online while your message is still unanswered. You reread your own text and suddenly it sounds awkward, too eager, too emotional, or too random. You type and delete 3 different replies because you are trying to sound normal, but not too cold, friendly, but not too much, interested, but not needy. Texting overthinking gets even stronger when it touches something already sensitive inside you. If you already fear rejection, a slow reply feels bigger. If you already doubt yourself, a short message feels heavier. If you already feel easy to replace, silence feels more threatening. So the problem is not always the text itself. Sometimes the text touches an older wound. That is why 2 people can receive the same message and feel completely different things. One shrugs it off. The other starts spiraling. When a text feels uncertain, the brain keeps returning to it because it believes the answer must be hidden somewhere inside it. So you reread their words. Then reread your own. Then compare the timing. Then wonder if their tone changed. This is the exhausting part of text overthinking. The mind believes that if it analyzes the conversation enough, it will finally feel safe. But instead of safety, it usually creates more confusion. At its core, overthinking text messages is usually your mind trying to protect you. It is trying to detect rejection before it fully lands. It is trying to prepare you for disappointment. It is trying to reduce uncertainty by analyzing every detail. So the intention is not irrational. The mind is trying to keep you safe. The problem is that this kind of protection often becomes self-torture. Instead of creating clarity, it creates emotional exhaustion. A healthier way to understand it is this: much of the pain comes not just from the message itself, but from the meaning your mind attaches to it. Sometimes a delayed reply is just a delayed reply. Sometimes a short text is just a short text. Sometimes silence is not rejection. And sometimes the story in your head becomes much louder than the reality in front of you. So instead of asking, "What does this text mean about me?" a better question is, "What fear is this bringing up in me right now?" So why do you overthink text messages so much? Because texting removes clarity, creates uncertainty, invites interpretation, and touches deeper fears most people already carry. It turns waiting into meaning and silence into a story. But not every message deserves a spiral. Not every pause means something bad. And not every silence is a verdict on your worth. If this helped you understand your mind a little better, subscribe to Everyday Psychology for more videos on overthinking, emotions, relationships, and human behavior.